what you're about to see here, when you're in Mexico City at the airport, they're going to have signs up only in Spanish that are going to tell you which are the authorized dependent means of transportation out of that airport. They're going to specifically post which taxis one ought to take. Of course, you can take any taxi that you like, but you should take the ones that they are saying are safe, effective, and will get you to where you're going. Now, that's not just true of non-Mexican residents. That's also true of people who reside in Mexico. Here's what they're saying. Si podrías, you can segurar pidiendo Uber en el aeropuerto de México. Esta dijo la prensa. Okay, so let's see exactly what they say about this.
Tuvo esta ocurrencia. Informó a través de sus redes sociales cuáles serán ahora los puntos de abordaje exclusivos para los taxis de aplicación. Si usted se encuentra en la Terminal 1, tendrá que recorrer caminando casi 200 metros para llegar al sitio asignado. Esto le tomará aproximadamente 3 minutos si es que llega por la nacional, porque si llega en vuelo internacional le toma el doble o más. Ese es el traslado, esa es la ruta. Ahí podrá llegar con su equipaje y pedir su taxi de aplicación. En caso de llegar a la Terminal 2, el sitio asignado a estos taxis de aplicación está a unos 300 metros. Le tomará aproximadamente 5 minutos recorrer el tramo. Ante este anuncio, usuarios han mostrado su molestia. Hasta ahora solo la plataforma Uber se ha pronunciado. En redes sociales dijo que seguirán operando con normalidad. Y recuerdan que su plataforma es la única aplicación que tiene un amparo definitivo que le permite seguir recogiendo a los pasajeros en la terminal aérea sin que ellos tengan que caminar hasta el exterior.
Now let me give you the essence of what he's saying. He's saying, look, you're going to have to walk about 400 meters, and you're going to have to take a tram. You're going to have to take a tram to the place where it's a designated Uber stand, and at that designated Uber stand, if you elect to take an Uber, you can take an Uber. Okay. That airport is immense, and as you see where it is, it's laid right down in the middle of expressways that are going this way, that way, this way, that way. I mean, it is extremely busy at that airport. So you can see from the airport how it's laid out, what's going on, that the chances are that if you don't have, a fair command of Spanish, you can get lost trying to make it to the Uber stand. And again, they are only going to post all of the signage in Spanish. The people who work at the airport are not Castilian, so they are not going to be speaking erudite, highly intelligible Spanish. It's going to be, I hate to say this, is going to be in the Chilango Herdica. So it doesn't matter, like if you're from Brazil, United States, and you land at that airport, France, Italy, you land at that airport, and even if you're from Spain, you land at that airport and you have a fair command of Castilian academic Spanish, when you get there, it's going to be extremely hard to understand what they are saying in the Chilango Herga, which is going to be a mixture of Spanish, Portuguese, French, Italian, Na'u, and various other native languages in Mexico. You're going to get a mix from one person is liable to say anything. That's just the way it is in Mexico. It's one person is liable to say anything. That's why you want to ask the person, if you are not understanding what they're saying, key things like, here's one key thing. Ask them, let's say you want to know about how well they use language. Ask them this question. If I was George Washington, I would not have crossed the Delaware. You can ask them that in Spanish and ask them, what is the problem with what I just said? That's one of the keys. You can concentrate on be vaca, be burro. You can see how much Latin they understand, how much French they understand. You can see how much actual English they understand. Now you're deep in Mexico, so you're not gonna find very many English speakers in that part of Mexico. So, getting to that taxi stand can be impossible. That's the point that I'm making. Not that I haven't made it to the taxi stand myself. Sure, I made it there. But, the ex-wife who was with me at the time that we were going to the taxi stand, she'd still be standing in the concourse of the airport. She might have never made it to the taxi stand.